Hey everyone, welcome back to the show here. Just a brilliant video today. I was just talking to my videographer and just telling him like, man, this is good shit. Not really, but we got to talk about something, right? So let me. I'm gonna try to say this in a way that is not braggy or anything, because it's actually not how I mean it. Sometimes you just get lucky, and luck plays a factor in life, and some people don't want to admit that. But luck played a factor for me in my housing journey, and I just want to share that story with you as an example of why to stop trying to time the market, because it's what everyone. I got an email today. It was regarding buying land in Wyoming. No, we're not going to do that to shoot on. No, not going to happen. But let me tell you what I was going to tell them, because they were like, we don't want to do it yet. We're going to time the bottom of the market. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, you just, you're not a fortune teller, right? And neither was I. So let me just give you some real world numbers. So I bought my house. Market was okay. Like, it wasn't great, it wasn't terrible. Like, it was okay. It was an okay time to buy. It was not great, not horrible. Like, it's just, yeah, sure, you can buy a house. So I had enough income to qualify for the mortgage payment, and I had enough savings to pay for my closing costs and to cover a relatively small down payment. So I have no issue telling you guys, I put down, man, I can't remember if it was 3.5 or 5, but it was one of those. It might have been 3. Let's just say 3.5%. I don't think it was actually on an FHA loan from what I remember, but I think it could be off on that. It's been a few years, and I wasn't in real estate at the time, so to me it was like, I don't know, just tell me how this whole thing shakes out. But I had enough cash to get into the house, and I had enough monthly income to support the payment that was presented to me. So I went for it, right? Now, my interest rate at that time was 4.5%, and that was compared to the last couple years, that was a really bad interest rate. Historically, that was a good interest rate. Compared to right now, it would still be considered a good interest rate, because right now we're closer to 6, but I agreed to 4.5%, and my mortgage payment stayed at, or my interest rate stayed at 4.5% for about 3.5 years before I was able to refinance out of that. Now, the truth is this, my mortgage payment was a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but I had the income to support it, so it's just like, whatever, right? And I didn't even really understand how all the refi stuff worked. But the other reality for me was that my rent was going to be the exact same. I was actually renting the house that I wound up buying, and my mortgage payment my mortgage payment compared to my rent payment on the same house, I think went up like, I think it was like $80. Like, I think it went up like $80 for me to now pay a mortgage instead of rent. So to me, it was a no-brainer. When it came time to refinance my house a few years later, I refinanced down to like 3%. I think I'm right at 3 from what I remember. And what had also happened is that my house had gone up in value enough, right, to take my equity over 20%. And what that did was that dropped my PMI, my private mortgage insurance, right? I was paying that for those 3.5 years because I didn't have enough equity in the house. So you pay this thing called private mortgage insurance, right? And I was maybe, I don't know, 150, maybe $150 a month, give or take. And so I was paying that on top of the higher interest rate. So I refi my house had accumulated value. I had paid off some of the principal on it, so I had accumulated this thing called equity, so the PMI goes away and the interest rate goes down. All said and done, when I refinanced my house, I wound up saving about $450 a month. And that was awesome, because that's God damn, Finn just dropped a bomb, and just dropped a bomb on this set. God damn, son. Disrespect. And so it saved me about $450 a month, which was great, because that's like a handful of bottles of whiskey a month, right? Or savings, or whatever you would deem to be wise to do with that. So what's the point to this whole thing? Not a whole lot, other than to reiterate a point that I've bludgeoned to death on this channel, which is, when you can buy something, just go ahead and do it, man, because you're never going to know. Hindsight's 20/20, right? So you get 5 years into the future and you look back on this moment right now when you bought a house, and you're like, that was either a great move, a terrible move, maybe somewhere in the middle, but you're not going to know until a few years from now. So there's no point in trying to figure out right now what's going to happen in the next couple of years. No, you simply act. Like, you simply just do it. You're like, well, I got enough cash to float the down payment and the closing costs. I got enough monthly income to support what the payment is without being completely stretched thin and living on ramen every night. So fuck it, let's just buy it. And the next 5 years will tell us if that was a good decision, bad decision, because you won't know. You just won't know, guys. So you have to stop playing that game. That's what I try to tell everyone. And for some buyers, they actually need kind of a shit climate like this in order to now be competitive. Different story for a different day. Since it's Thursday when this video comes out, quick whiskey. Well, I can't really tell you it's a recommendation because you can't get it outside of Utah. So this is High West Rendezvous Rye. This was, I'm in the High West Whiskey Club. I got the alert. We're doing a special barrel release tomorrow. So this was the last 9 months of its life was aged in a Merlot barrel, AKA red wine, right? Merlot. So I'm actually really excited about this because I've had sherry cask and Chardonnay cask finished whiskeys. Don't think I've ever had Merlot. Curious, real curious about this guy. I bought my limit, two. Two was how many you're allowed to buy, so I made sure I bought two. That way you can enjoy one and then leave one on the shelf. As a collector of High West, that's what I like to do. And if you guys need real estate help, you should let us know. We would like to help you. It is would help keep us in business and keep the lights on around here. So let us know if you need real estate help. It's not just in Utah, which is where I'm based. We probably help more people outside of the state than we do in the state. So hey, when in doubt, just reach out. If we can help, we'll tell you. If we can't, we'll tell you. It's all good. Either way, no big deal. So yeah, hope you guys are doing good. We'll see you next time.